Hey, welcome to Broomtown. We're going to do something different today. We're going to do tissue culture from from Walt Disney World. Who knew? See you in a minute. We've been going to Disney for a whole lot of years, and the land has the greenhouses. Disney calls it the land. Has always been it's always been a fascinating place. The stuff that they do in the greenhouse, food production, but a lot of it really is kind of, I guess, push the envelope, especially for non-science people. And one of the things that they had always talked about was tissue culture. And I mean, for years they've been talking about tissue culture. And in no way am I an expert on that, but my particular affinity towards propagating plants. And I saw these, and they're tissue cultured plants. Scientists actually take under a microscope and take samples and propagate them out. And we'll talk more about how they do that. But I kind of wanted to replant these. They're growing, and I think they've about maxed out their time in these little terrariums. And let's put them in the ground and talk about what they are. Hey, I brought these outside so that we could do them because I'm generally messy and I didn't want to get dirt in the house. It's Christmas time in Broomtown, and we've been blessed with some nice weather. It's warm out here. So let's see. This is how they come. They're in it's not glass, but it's a little jar, and you can see the roots, and you can see the jelly. I guess that's probably like a sterile gel that's got some nutrients, and I wouldn't doubt if they didn't put some rooting hormone in there. I would. And sealed. And I broke the seal, and there's the little plant. And the directions said to wash the roots, wash the gel off the roots. So I'm gonna see if I can pull it gently out. And I did. That worked pretty good. These are fragile. You talk about growing in an environment where there's no they haven't had any wind, they haven't really had any sunlight. They've been in that little terrarium. I'm trying really hard not to break the roots apart. Um, and I think that's working. That gel is loosening up. It's real unusual. It's not unlike the stuff if you ever get bare root plants. And they pack them in that jelly stuff to keep the roots hydrated. Um, it's a lot like that. I don't know if you can see it. I think that's exactly what it is. So anyway, we've almost got our little cloned coleus free. I may leave some of that on there so I don't tear up the roots. I don't know, it's coming. Anyway, let's wash him up. And there he is, a fresh clone from Disney World. I got this little plastic mat to pot in. It's it's nice because I don't waste as much of the dirt, over like that. It gets caught. Um, we're going to try to suspend this little guy in the dirt about root deep. So that's pretty good. I'll put some of this really fine. My first impressions of this is he's really, really tender. We'll go through all the directions. They say to put him, once you got him potted, to put him in a plastic bag, I guess like a Ziploc bag. In other words, you're going to build another terrarium, kind of like they shipped them in. And if you were going to do seeds, and once you got your seeded plants to this stage, I think they'd be, if you wanted to use the word tougher than this guy is. I can tell just by handling him, he is really super delicate. And that's fine. I mean, that's, you know, part of this is to teach you, and I love the way they do it. You know, you hope kids get this and they learn about tissue cultures and cloning, and there's a lot of things in agriculture that are just coming or have been for a little while, but it's so much different than just starting things from seed. It's also nice if you're going to have a new variety of something to clone it instead of propagating it naturally. You can make a lot of little plants. No telling how many of these little coleus plants they made from one cutting. You know, they were dividing down with a microscope on the plant cell level, cloning these. So, you know, one piece of tissue, and I think when they use the word tissue, all they really mean is leaves. But one little thing of plant material probably makes thousands of little plants. But that's what we got. We're going to take him in. We're going to hydrate him really good, and we're going to put him in the plastic bag, like they say. But so far, this is where we've come. From the box from Orlando to the little terrarium he came in to a pot. So let's go inside for the rest. I'm going to hydrate him. I'm going to put him in the laundry room sink because it's winter and cold. I mean, it's not cold, but normally in the spring or the summer, I would do all of this outside. But for right now, I'm going to let him sit and soak and come back and visit him in a little while after he's getting saturated, and then I'll probably let all that water off. But that dirt was completely dry. So you can see it's working its way through now. So it won't be long. All right, I've got him pretty hydrated, and they recommend using a plastic bag. So I was going to guess a Ziploc, and put him in here, trying to give him some room, and then I'm going to put a rubber band around that to hold it. And I think that'll work. I may try to double it. Let's see, that'll hold it tighter. Okay, he's back in a kind of terrarium environment like he was, but only in dirt. So we'll visit him again. I'm gonna let him sit. I'm not pouring more water in, but I'm gonna let him sit for a little while in this dish full of water, because these pots, one of the things I like about terracotta pots is they're porous and they'll hold a certain amount of water themselves. So I'm gonna let this terracotta pot get hydrated. It was dry also. It was in storage. So we got him like that. We're gonna let him sit like that for a couple of weeks. I'm gonna take him and put him in the window, but we'll see how he does. I want to show you instructions, the pamphlet that comes with it. It's I give Disney a lot of credit. There's a lot of really large corporations, and that don't go to this trouble. I hope not just kids, but everybody needs to can know about the science of plants, plant science maybe. Um, but it just goes through a little description about how they did it with tissue cultures, and then it's easy to follow how to plant, how to take care of it. Um, it's just a good little deal. Of all the things you can buy at Disney World, and I'm not knocking their other stuff, but the plushes and the I don't know, I call it just all the plastic, and that has its place, I suppose. But this is a good little thing to bring home. I'm glad we did it. Obviously, we're not children, and our children are grown, but it's a neat way to learn about plants and learn about science and agriculture all at the same time, and still make it fun. So one of the other, I bought two. I know we got a video going about coleus, but this is a little prickly pear cactus. I thought he might be fun also, and I wanted to see a couple of things. I wanted to see, you know, the survival rate. If you did it right or you did it wrong. Let's see if he'll come out without it just eating my fingers up. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get a pair of little gloves. All right, I got me a little glove just in case. I don't know if we can figure out how to shoot down in there, but you can see the roots growing in their sterile gel. Pretty neat. It just kind of comes right out very easily. I'm being pretty gentle. I don't want to squish him. And that was too easy. It just literally popped out of the gel. You can see how it was a cut, and it's still neat to me that they do this and how they do it. And I'm sure they're making money, and I don't, have a problem with that at all. There's lots of things that you can spend your money on at Disney, and I have spent a lot of money at Disney. But this is good. This is fun. It's semi-educational. You never know where you never know where stuff ends, what seeds, that's kind of metaphorically, I guess, but what seeds are planted, because I've been going to there a lot, and one of the highlights of the trip for me is going to the greenhouses in Epcot. That's kind of an amazing place, and the sheer volume of people that they run through there and give little lessons about plant science is really nice. It's a great presentation, and they do a really good job of that. And these little guys made it all the way back to Broomtown, and we're talking about tissue culture. And while this is not a science lesson, primarily because I'm not a scientist, there you go. We'll take him to the next level, just like we did the Colia, and get him ready for his next step. Thank you. All right, here's our little plants, and they'll get to live like this for a couple of weeks. We'll poke some holes in the bags, let them last a couple of weeks, and then they'll see they're probably free to roam after that on their own. But it's kind of cool. I didn't intend on this being, the end all be all about tissue culture. Frankly, I'm not an expert on it. And I wanted to do this. Maybe this will, in some way, spark an interest in somebody else to look at different kind of things and look at different kind of ways to propagate. This is neat, and hope you enjoyed the video. You can see how well these little plastic bags make a terrarium. They're full of moisture. They're really close to just taking off there and having plants, but we'll leave it another day or two. I think the directions said 2 weeks, and we're getting really close to that. So we'll see you later. All right, we've reached the day to poke holes in it like the directions said, so that we can, I guess, get rid of some of this humidity for a day or two before we completely release them on their own recognizance into the air. So let's do that. All right, you can see how well this terrarium did. It held a lot of water, and they don't look they look as good as they did when they were in the media, I guess is what it's called, not medium. But I'm gonna poke a few holes to let go of some of that humidity, and I'll do that on these little coleus. And I understand why they, want you to do this. I don't think these plants could be any more tender, because they've never, they were started in a closed environment, and up until now, they've maintained in a closed environment. But you can see how well they're doing. They haven't drooped. They hadn't, none of that. So anyway, as per the instructions, we'll let them breathe for a while, and then we'll take them out. All right, it's been a little bit of time. It's been a day or two since we did the whole poking in the plastic, and we're gonna take the plastic off of them, and we're gonna see what we got and see what we can do with it. So let's check it out. All right, this little guy's been breathing, and per the instructions, we'll take the rubber band off of here and get this plastic off and let him be free. This kind of really did a good job. One of the reasons I like putting stuff in these terracotta pots is they hold moisture in the clay so that things don't dry out. You can see that. But yet they're not just, inundated with water. I like to plant in terracotta, or I guess it probably doesn't have to just be terracotta, but in, surfaces that are absorbent, natural. I don't know. I don't like plastic pots. They don't breathe. And these clay pots do. So that's the first one we showed. That's the cactus, and this is a coleus. So there we go. So he really doesn't look any worse for the wear. I think both of those are going to make them. It was fun. My final thoughts are, it's a neat way to explain tissue culture, especially to kids. I'm sure this is a juvenile market, but it's nice. I'm glad Disney does this. It's good job. I think we got 2 new plants, and they were completely cloned, and that's kind of cool, and it worked. So there you go. Thanks. If anybody made it this far, we got these cool stickers for Meanwhile in Broomtown, and if you want one, comment it, tell me you want them, and we'll figure out how to do it. They're not for sale. It's not all about that. It's just, if you want a sticker, let me know, and I'll send you a sticker. Thanks. Hey, thanks for watching. And if you would, take a second to hit the subscribe button for us. It helps us a lot. I appreciate it.